be.
Tell me about it, stud.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the actors who tapped into their inner child to play a character much younger than they were.
What are you doing here?
I work here. I don't work here. I was gonna say I work here, but it seems like you in fact do work here, so you know that I don't in fact work.
Number 30. Kenny Wormald, Footloose. This multi-talented actor already had a successful career as a dancer, even touring with Justin Timberlake when he was cast to play Ren McCormick in the Footloose remake.
Let's take them off, accept them pumps. Lean on your feet, girl. Give it to me now.
When filming began in September 2010, Wormald was already 26 years old, at least 8 years older than his character. It's pretty common for actors in their 20s to play high schoolers. In fact, Wormald wasn't even the oldest of his co-stars. Patrick Fluger, who plays Ren's romantic rival Chuck, is about 7 months older than Wormald. For a movie like Footloose, we don't care how old the actors are, as long as they can dance.
Come on before we cry. Lose your blues. Everybody clap for lose.
Number 29. Selma Blair, Cruel Intentions. Born in 1972, Blair was 26 years old when this movie was released in March 1999. She was the oldest of the 4 actors who played the leads, with the others ranging from 2 to 5 years younger than her.
She doesn't know you're here. In fact, you're probably grounded. I think I should call her anyway.
No, please, please, I'll do anything. Just don't call my mom.
Her character, Cecile, is extremely naive and has never even been in a classroom with boys before. Blair plays the innocent Cecile extremely convincingly. She's actually totally believable as a high schooler.
You're becoming a woman. I'm so proud of you.
I am? Cecile!
Considering how sexualized and exploited her character is in the film, we'd say it's a good thing the producers didn't cast an actual teenager to play her. Number 28. Teresa Palmer, Warm Bodies. This retelling of Romeo and Juliet takes place during a zombie apocalypse. Palmer plays Julie, a 19-year-old girl who's just trying to survive, but ends up falling for a zombie named R.
Stay together. Promise.
I promise.
Palmer was 25 and a half years old when Warm Bodies began shooting in September 2011, almost 3 years older than her co-star Nicholas Hoult. We can imagine that living in constant fear of being eaten would age a person pretty fast, so casting older actors makes sense in this case. That said, Palmer pretty easily passes for a teenager in the movie.
You don't want to know what it was. You don't want your old life back.
No. I want this one.
Number 27. Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
When a movie takes place over a long period in a character's life, the creators have to make a tough decision. Should they cast one actor to play the role or multiple actors of different ages? Forrest Gump follows the title character from his early childhood until he's in his late 30s. Child actor Michael Connor Humphreys plays young Forrest, but Hanks plays him from high school on. Hanks was born in 1956, meaning he was 37 when filming took place in 1993. The movie only includes one scene of Forrest in high school, but it does follow him pretty closely throughout his 20s.
That there's Forrest Gump, Coach. Just a local idiot.
And can you believe it? I got to go to college too.
Hanks looks great for his age, but we're not sure he can pass for someone 20 years younger. Number 26. Ben Platt, Dear Evan Hansen.
Because there's Zoe, who I don't even know and who doesn't know me, but maybe if I did, maybe if I could just talk to her, maybe things would be better.
Sometimes casting an older actor to play a teenager works out, and sometimes it's a bad idea. Platt originated the role of Evan Hansen on Broadway, and since his dad is a movie producer, it's no surprise that he was cast as the lead in the film. However, he turned 27 during filming, which is pretty old to be playing a high schooler. The hairstyle and the heavy makeup he's wearing also aren't doing him any favors.
But he kept it all inside his head. What he saw, he left unsaid.
Worst of all, Caitlin Dever, who plays Evan's love interest, actually does look like a teenager, despite being 24 when filming Wrapped. That makes this relationship look a lot creepier than it's supposed to. Number 25. Sir Darius Blaine, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. This sequel to the 1995 Robin Williams classic follows 4 high schoolers who get sucked into the world of Jumanji and find themselves transformed into video game avatars.
What the hell, man? Oh no. Holy shit!
Blaine plays Anthony Fridge Johnson at the beginning and end of the film, while Kevin Hart takes over for most of the runtime. At the time of filming in late 2016, Blaine was 29. His co-stars, on the other hand, were actually teenagers, making Blaine 10 to 12 years older than them. Since Anthony is a football player known for his size, casting an older actor wasn't a crazy idea. We think Blaine pulls off the role of a high school kid pretty convincingly.
Yes, 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 yes! I'm back, baby!
Number 24. Kid and Play, House Party.
Yo, what's up, man? What's going on? Yo, I'm glad you showed up, man. What's up with your pops?
Yo, you know how it is, man. How much more trouble can I get into? Beatdown's a beatdown.
This classic comedy follows a group of high schoolers who throw a rager while one student's parents are out of town. It was so successful, it spawned 4 sequels and a 2023 reboot. Christopher Kid Reed and Christopher Play Martin play the leads, though neither was especially close to high school age at the time. When the film was released in March 1990, Reed was about to turn 26 and Martin was almost 28. However, we would argue that the actors' ages matter even less in this movie than they usually do. Audiences watch the House Party franchise for the music, dancing, and outrageous comedic antics, not the realism. Number 23. Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's. If you're a fan of this timeless classic, you might be surprised to learn that the main character, Holly Golightly, is only 19 years old. You might be even more surprised to hear that Audrey Hepburn was 31 at the time of filming.
Stop blushing, Fred. You didn't say you were a genius, I did. So quit stalling, OJ. Just tell me what you're going to do to make Fred rich and famous.
Prior to the events of the film, Holly escaped from a marriage to a much older man and fled from Texas to New York. There, she becomes a popular socialite bent on marrying someone rich. Holly seems so worldly that it's hard to imagine she's just a teenager. On the other hand, Hepburn is so youthful and beautiful, no one would guess that she's over 30.
Look, I know what you're thinking, and I don't blame you. I've always thrown out such a jazzy line.
Regardless of her age, it's impossible to picture anyone else in the role. Number 22. Emma Thompson, Sense and Sensibility. In this coming-of-age story from novelist Jane Austen, 3 sisters navigate romance and family drama in early 19th century England. Eleanor is the oldest at 19, followed by 16-year-old Marianne and 13-year-old Margaret. However, the age gap between the actresses playing them was considerably larger. When filming started, Thompson, who plays Eleanor, had just turned 36, meaning she was almost twice her character's age.
Colonel, though neither one has informed me of their understanding, I have no doubt of their mutual affection.
Meanwhile, Kate Winslet, who plays Marianne, was only 19, and Miriam Francois was actually younger than her character at 12 years old. In interviews, Thompson has revealed that director Ang Lee criticized her for appearing too old. Considering that he was the one who pushed her to take the part, we'd say he should get over it.
Told me himself.
I think he felt it would be better coming from a friend.
Number 21. Paul Rudd, Wet Hot American Summer. The character of Andy might only be 16 years old, but when Paul Rudd filmed the part in 2000, he was 31.
My butt itches.
What are you talking about? Hey, we're soulmates, right?
What? Yeah. Whatever, if you want.
In fact, none of the actors playing camp counselors in this teen sex comedy throwback were actually teenagers. That's definitely a good thing considering how raunchy the film gets. Since it's common knowledge that Paul Rudd doesn't age, you could argue that it doesn't matter how old he is no matter what part he's playing. In this case, he doesn't really look like a teenager, but he plays the character with such childish immaturity that we could almost believe he's actually 16.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Okay, well...
Time's up. You said a second.
I want to ask you something.
So you want to talk for more than a second?
Number 20. Ralph Macchio, The Karate Kid.
Hey, pretty good, huh? Look at this, Mr. Miyagi.
We don't know if we'd call a 22-year-old a kid, but whatever. The Karate Kid is one of the most famous movies from the 80s, and it stars Ralph Macchio as the Karate Kid himself, Daniel LaRusso.
Wax on, wax off.
It's established in the film that Daniel is 17 years old. Filming of the movie commenced on Halloween 1983 and wrapped the following December. Machio was born on November 4th, 1961, meaning he turned 22 just after filming began. That's only a 5-year difference, but when it means the difference between high school graduation and college graduation, it's quite a bit. Number 19, Johnny Depp, Crybaby.
Hi, kids. Remember, always look both ways before crossing.
Mother! Johnny Depp was playing teenagers back in 1984 when he starred in A Nightmare on Elm Street. 6 years later, he was still playing teens. 1990 saw the release of the cult classic John Waters film Crybaby, which sees Depp playing the teenage rebel leader of a local greaser gang.
Crybaby wants some hooch.
I don't drink and drive.
Crybaby premiered in Baltimore in March 1990 before receiving a wide release the following month. Depp was born in June of 1963, meaning he was just 2 months shy of his 27th birthday when the movie released wide. Playing a teenager in your early 20s is one thing, but Depp was closer to 30 than 20.
One single salty tear is all they'll ever suck out of this crybaby.
Number 18, Jennifer Grey, Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Jennifer Grey enjoyed a stellar 1-2 punch in the mid-80s, with Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986 and Dirty Dancing in 1987. The latter was particularly successful, grossing about 3 times as much as Ferris Bueller. The movie was filmed in both Virginia and North Carolina throughout the fall of 1986. Jennifer Grey was born on March 26, 1960, making her 26 years old throughout filming. Baby is due to start college in the movie, meaning she's around 17 or 18, making Grey nearly a full decade older than her on-screen character. Number 17, Sha Patrick Thomas, Save the Last Dance. When Julia Stiles played 17-year-old Sarah Johnson in Save the Last Dance, she actually was a teenager.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's all of it.
Born March 28, 1981, she was 19 at the time. But that wasn't the case for her co-star, Sha Patrick Thomas, who played a high school senior and college hopeful named Derek Reynolds.
Lesson 1. All right, now, hip-hop, it's more than just like a dance, it's more like an attitude,
Born on December 17, 1970, Thomas had just turned 30 when the movie was released on January 12, 2001. We don't know if anyone bought him as a high school senior, but either way, that is one major age discrepancy.
You are the one that's gonna have to make the dream come true.
Number 16, Rachel True, The Craft.
Guys, it's not working.
Released in May of 1996, The Craft follows a group of outcast high school students who begin to experiment with witchcraft. And the film contains a certifiable who's who of mid-90s stars, including Skeet Ulrich, Neve Campbell, and Fairuza Balk. Also starring in the movie is Rachel True as Rochelle Zimmerman, an African-American student who's bullied by the popular white girls.
I drink up my sisters, and I ask for the ability to not hate those who hate me.
True was born on November 15, 1966, making her 29 years old when The Craft was released in May 1996. She was by far the oldest member of the core cast. Upon the movie's premiere, Robin Tunney was 23, Campbell was 22, and Balk was 21, albeit just a few weeks away from turning 22.
How's it going? Fine.
Number 15, Kevin Bacon, Footloose. Along with Dirty Dancing, Footloose was the big dancing movie craze of the 1980s. It stars Kevin Bacon as a hip teenager named Ren McCormick. Ren is from Chicago, and when he moves to the rural town of Beaumont with his mother, he attempts to overrule the local minister's ban on both dancing and rock music.
So you really can't dance here, man? I can't believe that.
It's true.
Filming took place around Utah throughout much of the latter half of 1983, before the movie was released in February of '84. Star Kevin Bacon was born on July 8, 1958, and he turned 25 years old shortly after filming commenced in May of 1983.
Hey, it's Mr. Dance Fever.
Yeah, you're a goddamn hero when it's 5-1.
Number 14, Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future Part 3.
Pretty heavy, huh?
Michael J. Fox is awesome, and he was spectacular as Marty McFly, but he was kinda pushing believability by the end. Fox was born on June 9th, 1961, meaning he had just turned 24 when the first Back to the Future was released in July of 1985.
Look at my birthday, for crying out loud. I haven't even been born yet.
Back to the Future Part 3 came out 5 years later, but Marty remained the same age. The third movie was released on May 25th, 1990, just a few short weeks before Fox's 29th birthday. Imagining a mid-20s Fox as a high school student was easy enough, but things started to get a little tricky once he was pushing 30.
Hey, Doc! Where are you going now? Back to the future?
Number 13, Malcolm McDowell, A Clockwork Orange. This controversial film from Stanley Kubrick follows the exploits of a hyper-violent teenager and his gang of friends. Although the character of Alex DeLarge is only 15 in Anthony Burgess's original novel, he was aged up slightly for the film.
What we were after now was the old surprise visit. That was a real kick, and good for laughs and lashings of the old ultra-violent.
It's never revealed exactly how old he is, but we know he's still in high school. Malcolm McDowell, on the other hand, was 27 at the time of filming. Although Alex is the youngest member of his gang, McDowell is the oldest of the 4 actors who play them.
For now it was lovely music that came to my aid. There was a window open with the stereo on, and I viddied right at once what to do.
In fact, he is a full 10 years older than Michael Tarn, who played Pete. That said, McDowell's baby face and small frame actually make him pretty believable as a teenager. Number 12, Gabrielle Union, Bring It On.
You want to make it right? Then when you go to nationals, bring it. Don't slack off because you feel sorry for us. That way, when we beat you, we'll know it's because we're better.
This cult classic comedy follows a Californian cheerleading team, the San Diego Toros, as they compete against their rivals, the East Compton Clovers. Leading the Toros is Torrance Shipman, played by Kirsten Dunst. And leading the Clovers is Isis, played by Gabrielle Union.
Look, me and my squad made it to the big show without any of your help. I think we can handle it.
The movie was released on August 25, 2000, a few months after Dunst turned 18. However, Gabrielle Union was born in October of 1972, meaning she was just a couple of months shy of her 28th birthday. In reality, these 2 high school cheerleaders are a decade apart in age.
Hey, I just want to say, captain to captain, I respect what you guys did out there. You guys were good.
Thanks. You were better.
We were, huh?
Number 11, Shirley Henderson, The Harry Potter Franchise.
Don't ask me. Here I am, minding my own business, and someone thinks it's funny to throw a book at me.
According to the Harry Potter wiki, Myrtle Warren, or Moaning Myrtle as her ghost would later be known, was just 14 years old when she was killed by the basilisk. In the film, Myrtle is played by actress Shirley Henderson.
I was just sitting in the U-bend thinking about death. Oh, and it fell through the top of my head.
Henderson was born on November 24, 1965, and Chamber of Secrets began filming on November 19, 2001. This means that the squeaky-voiced 14-year-old we see in the film is actually a 36-year-old woman. Things get even weirder in Goblet of Fire, as a near 40-year-old Henderson was hitting on the 15-year-old Daniel Radcliffe.
Well, go on. Open it.
Number 10, Denise Richards, Wild Things.
So where's your hose, Mr. Lombardo?
In a film about sex crimes and sexy times, it was a deceptive high school student that ran the show. And given the provocative nature of John McNaughton's erotic thriller, it became increasingly clear that a then unknown Denise Richards was a couple of years removed from senior prom.
Can I play too? Or is it just for boys?
In fact, she was 27 years old at the time of the film's release. Playing the overtly sexualized Kelly Van Ryan, Richards steamed up the screen, as the plot revealed much more than just the character's love affair and scheming behavior. Number 9, Sissy Spacek, Carrie.
I'm going, Mama. And things are gonna change around here.
By the time Brian De Palma's iconic horror film reached theaters, his lead actress was just shy of her 27th birthday, and perhaps best known for her role in the 1973 film Badlands.
How's he doing?
I got him in the stomach.
Is he upset?
But after Sissy Spacek's frightening turn as the social outcast Carrie White, well, nobody could forget her blood-curdling screams, or even perhaps more so, her blood-drenched body. Blessed with a youthful presence and schooled in method acting at the famous Lee Strasberg's acting studio, Spacek stepped into the shoes of the strange puberty-stricken social outsider and effectively ravaged the psyches of frazzled moviegoers.
I'm going. You can't stop me.
Number 8. Winona Ryder, Girl Interrupted.
Maybe I was just crazy. Maybe it was the 60s. Or maybe I was just a girl. Interrupted.
While James Mangold's coming-of-age film featured a teenaged Elizabeth Moss long before her casting in Mad Men, the star of Girl Interrupted was already in her late 20s and at the pinnacle of her career when she booked the role.
Maybe everyone out there is a liar. And maybe the whole world is stupid and ignorant. But I'd rather be in it.
Although years older than her on-screen counterpart, Winona Ryder's pristine appearance made her the ideal choice to play a disturbed, yet talented 18-year-old Susanna Kaysen, the real-life woman on whom the film was based.
I'm feeling depressed.
I haven't exactly been a ball of joy, Melvin.
With a young Angelina Jolie coming into her own, Girl Interrupted was an important film for Hollywood leading ladies, but also reminded us of Ryder's timeless movie star charisma.
Is that it?
Number 7. Jud Nelson, The Breakfast Club.
Eat my shorts.
Today, John Bender may seem like an over-the-top outcast to some. However, back in the mid-'80s, he was the prototypical high school rebel that challenged his fellow Breakfast Clubbers to think outside the box. The man behind this whacked-out persona was a 25-year-old Jud Nelson, in what was just his 3rd feature film.
Nothing to do when you're locked in a vacancy.
Speak for yourself.
Do you think I'd speak for you? I don't even know your language.
He would soon become associated with Hollywood's Brat Pack, but in The Breakfast Club, Nelson managed to combine a sense of James Dean cool with an intellect that made John Bender wise beyond his years. And that's because it was the truth.
Being bad feels pretty good, huh?
Number 6. Stacy Dash, Clueless.
Would you call me selfish? No, not to your face.
10 years after appearing as Denise's friend in The Cosby Show, Stacy Dash once again played a high school student, albeit in less organic fashion, as she was 28 by the time the film hit theaters.
Woman, why don't you be answering any of my pages?
I hate when you call me woman.
Where you been all weekend? What's up? You jeeping behind my back?
Even so, the character of Dion Davenport boasted a knack for both the Vogue and Valley Girl slang, all the while etching herself into the memories of admiring moviegoers.
So? Shopping with Dr. Seuss? Well, at least I wouldn't skin a collie to make my backpack.
Number 5. Andrew Garfield, The Amazing Spider-Man.
You a cop? Really? You seriously think I'm a cop?
When Andrew Garfield was cast as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, North Americans scratched their heads and tried to figure out where exactly they'd seen him.
Hey, it's Peter, right?
Oh yeah, he was Eduardo Saverin from The Social Network.
You have no idea what that's gonna mean to my father.
A natural selection for the superhero film. However, at 27 years of age when filming began, Garfield had accumulated the necessary skills to exude the youthful charm and composure of one teenaged Peter Parker, while crawling his way directly to the bank. Just as Tobey Maguire did when tackling the role at 26 years of age for the 2002 film.
You know who I am.
I do.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Number 4. Rachel McAdams, Mean Girls.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
The same year she made audiences weep thanks to The Notebook, Rachel McAdams first appeared in another cult classic playing Regina George, the supreme diva of the clique known as the Plastics.
You're like really pretty.
Thank you.
So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
At 25 years of age, McAdams channeled her inner sass to corrupt a new arrival, and she was quite convincing as the blonde princess.
She thinks she's gonna have a party and not invite me? Who does she think she is?
You're right, hon.
I like invented her, you know what I mean?
By 2004, it had been a couple of years since McAdams had made her big screen debut, but it was Mean Girls that established McAdams as one of the emerging badass talents of the decade.
I know, right?
Number 3, Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can.
My name is Frank Taylor. I'm a co-pilot for Pan Am. I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
By 2002, Leonardo DiCaprio had entered the Scorsesean phase of his career, even if the world still viewed him as the pretty boy actor from Titanic.
I'm the king of the world!
To mark the beginning of a new era, the 28-year-old gave moviegoers 2 cinematic gifts, Gangs of New York and Catch Me If You Can. The latter a collaboration with Steven Spielberg, in which he played a teenage con artist.
But the jump seat is open.
You know, it's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
With prior Too Old to Be a Teenager experience in The Basketball Diaries, DiCaprio managed to capture the same sense of unflappable, ignorant wonder in his role as real-life Frank Abagnale Jr.
Merry Christmas!
Number 2, Alan Ruck, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What'd I do?
Matthew Broderick functioned as the obvious driving force behind Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but it was his depressive best friend that offered a healthy amount of comic relief.
If you're not over here in 15 minutes, you can find a new best friend.
You've been saying that since the 5th grade.
About to turn 30 years old at the time of the film's premiere, Alan Ruck sported a clean-cut look and donned a Detroit Red Wings jersey to capture the essence of Cameron Fry, who was a kid dominated by fear and unaware of his true independence.
Look, don't ask me to participate in your stupid crap if you don't like the way I do it.
Life moves pretty fast in Hollywood, and despite this only being his 3rd feature, Ruck stood his ground alongside a truly iconic performance.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Olivia Newton-John, Grease. She released a dozen albums during the 70s, but everybody knows Olivia Newton-John for her iconic performance in the 1978 film, Grease.
Summer heat, boy and girl meet, but all the summer nights.
At almost 30 years of age, and yet still 4 years younger than co-star Stockard Channing, she starred as the unassuming blonde bombshell Sandy Olsen, a high school senior that charmed audiences with a sweetheart persona that was complemented by moments of leather-clad sensuality.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you.
With big hair, penetrating eyes, and an accent that would make any American high school kid drool, Olivia Newton-John represented the high school experience and the multitude of emotions that teenagers endure in this classic musical romantic comedy. Which actor do you think was most convincing as a teenager? Let us know in the comments.
How much is that?
Hearing ID, Sonny.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.